Jeffrey in Philadelphia. Jeffrey, you're live with Eric and V.
Hey, Eric. How you doing, V?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing well. What's up, man? What would you like to talk about?
I'm on some pretzels here. Sorry, I need a drink of water.
No worries. That's
pretzels
okay.
are good. They're good, man. Anyway, I come to you guys in peace. I come
good.
to you in the name of the Most High God. When I began to interact with people in the Atheist Experience show, I went into prayer for various individuals, even calling their names out unto God and in prayer. And one of the things that the first things that the Lord gave me was, and you guys being former Christians will remember this, what Jesus taught when he said, blessed are the pure in heart. You remember the rest of that, what it says?
Yeah, the Beatitudes.
Do you remember the rest of that particular verse, that phrase? The blessed are the pure in heart for what? What did he say after that?
Isn't it for surely they'll inherit the kingdom of heaven, something like that?
No. It says, blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Ah, there we go. Okay, so question here, man. Just so that we're on the same page. Are you here to have a conversation with us, or are you here to preach at us?
Both.
Okay, well, we'll take the former and leave the latter. But if we feel like we're picking up more of the latter than the former, we're going to drop the call. Sound good? I want to be straightforward here. This isn't an altar call, and it's not your pulpit.
You guys are always you're always honest with me. We always have usually, well, for the most part, we have good exchange.
Definitely. I just want to make sure that you know. That this is not your pulpit.
Because
this is not your soapbox. We want to talk about.
We're having exactly.
Okay, so why open the Bible in the first place? You're asking us about something that we know, but I'm questioning its relevance. You know, because you're bringing this up. Jeffrey, I can actually give you an example here. I remember I was having a conversation with a friend who's devout Christian. I was on my way out, and he started quoting Bible verses at me. And I brought him, some things that didn't make sense to me. And he said, well, that's just for God to know, and you'll find out after you die. And he said, but what you have to remember is that it's divinely inspired. And I looked at him and I said, well, but that's what we're arguing about. I don't think it's divinely inspired. And so if I don't think it's divinely inspired, then it doesn't really have the effect that I think you're thinking it has, because we don't hold it in that regard. And if we're not holding it in that regard, then you're casting your pearls before swine. So the question is, why should we hold it in that regard?
Because it's true. You're interested in truth, right?
Yes. How do we know that it is true?
First, you're going to have to read it. You're going to have to pay attention to it. If that's the first thing. And if you out of hand say, look, I'm not even going to read this because what I've read so far, I don't understand it. And guess what? It don't make any sense to me. So guess what? I'm throwing it behind me, and that's it.
Are you assuming that's what we did?
No, I'm not assuming anything. I'm just saying if that is the case,
okay,
right, there's no way that you can.
Well, that's not
the first step.
I can tell you that's not the case for me. I read it.
Right.
I tried to read it with an open heart. I read it as a Christian, and I read it as an atheist. So let's toss that out, because we don't want to write the other person off for assumptions, right? Like, you wouldn't want to assume, you all just hate God, so otherwise that's just ending the conversation.
I'm going to ask the question directly as it stands right now for V and for Eric as well. With regard to the Bible, you pretty much have tossed it behind you. Is that an incorrect assumption on my part?
Yes, actually, I was at a bookstore yesterday looking for a copy to buy.
I got my Bible right here.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Now, the question is, why do we have it?
Right.
What is the use that we get from it?
Well, you would have to answer that question.
Absolutely.
What use do you get from it?
I didn't know if you had a presupposition. I wanted to give you an opportunity because maybe that could be something we could dispel here. We didn't.
We're dialed. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, there might be a bit of a delay. That's all right, man. Well, I'll tell you. I have this Bible here not because I think it's true, in a divinely inspired sense. I have it here because I want to meet people where they're at. And sometimes that conversation goes into talking about the Bible, and it helps to have it on hand as a reference.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. And I also want to really have a good handle on, the core subject of what I'm talking to people about. And so if they're talking about, who was it? The dude that said that Lot's wife turned into salt because...
Oh, no, the story was true because when you taste your own sweat,
it tastes like salt.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's silly, and I can... We can look in the Bible and look at that story and see how much that story props up his... And go from there, but we're not taking it as a truth. We're not taking it as a reference for absolute truth. So...
Now I'm gonna test you right now.
Hold on. The reason that the reason I'm bringing this up.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I just want to finish this. The reason I'm bringing this up is because you brought forward this verse, and we don't hold it in reverence. Because we don't hold it in reverence, any of the verses, until you can show us why we need to hold those in reverence, then they're not going to have any.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Thank you, V. You remember it also, Eric, right?
Yeah, the reason why I'm saying this is because you need to show us why it's important. Why, Jeffrey? Why should we care?
Why is the word important?
Why is the Bible important? You and I have words. We're talking. We're using words. Yeah, let's not mince things.
Because we're in search of truth, right?
Right. How do you know?
Reality.
Agreed. How do you know that what's in the Bible is true?
I know it because I obeyed it and I experience it every day.
Is that how anything else works?
I think that's how everything works.
So I went out and I got the lunch that I wanted to have, and I went out with some friends and I got the drinks that I wanted to have. And whether I had $100 or $1 million in my bank account, I could have made both of those things happen. So I'm just going to choose to believe I have $1 million in my bank account. Does that mean that's true?
Okay.
No. I would be fooling myself. Right? There are people who say that exact same thing about other religions, right? I live this way. And because that, it seems like you're saying that this is a personal truth, but we live in a universe that we share. And that universe has things that are true because they are, not because you want it to be. So why should we care? How do you know that it's true? And
you keep asking me why you should care. I keep telling you because it's true.
Right. How do you know that it's true?
It is the truth. And I know by obedience, first of all.
Obedience.
My experience, obedience to the word, the commandments, right? And also my experience in the world corresponding to that truth that I have read and understood.
So if I brought up things in the Bible that don't correspond to this universe that we're in, would that make you not a believer anymore?
Well, I would investigate it. I mean, you'd have to bring it. We'd have to have that discussion, I guess.
Okay. Talking donkeys.
Uh-huh.
Does it happen?
I believe that animals communicate all the time.
No, it spoke in human language. It spoke to a person. Balaam, right.
So I believe that God is able to make, first of all, I said the first thing because animals do communicate with one another in languages that we don't understand. But I believe God can also translate that same language that they use to communicate to each other to humans. He's able to do that because he stopped us from being able to communicate at one point because of our pride. I mean, humankind.
Yeah, which in itself is... go ahead.
I'm just curious. Do you think that donkeys talk to each other using a translatable language to English?
Absolutely.
Or whatever language?
I think ants communicate with chemicals. They use chemicals as a way to communicate with one another. That's why they're able to do the things that they're able to do collectively.
Right. So you're saying... I'm just curious because what you're doing right now is you're using some claims in the Bible to prop up other claims in the Bible. And we're saying that we don't trust the Bible implicitly as a source. So
you shouldn't trust the Bible. You should trust the God of the Bible.
Where do we find out about that God? Where do we learn about that God?
In that Bible.
Right. So we're trusting the Bible about the God of the Bible. You start with the Bible. You never start with the God.
Well, the God has reached out to you.
That's a claim that you're going to have to back up. No, that's a claim that you're going to have to back up. I can say, and I hope you understand how incredibly presumptuous that is. Jeffrey, how would you feel if because it comes off as condescending, and I don't think you understand why it comes off as condescending. It comes off as condescending because it's, no, I'm right, and this already happened to you. You don't know us. Not only that, but you're presuming in a way that is automatically assuming that you're right. I can do that for any other religion, and you'd probably balk at it. But why is it okay for you to do that to us? And you're also conflating. Right? I don't need a response to that because I think that stands on its own. You're conflating. I've got it right here. The donkey says, "What have I done to you to make you beat me these 3 times?" How is that in any way relatable to sounds of pain or sounds of, when you're talking about, proto-language, when you're talking about, chemical communication, you're not talking about complex sentences. You're not talking about questioning each other and talking in a complex way. No, in the Bible, it says that this donkey opened its mouth and spoke in the language of that person. Right? And so if the answer is, well, God just magicked it, then it sounds like there's no way that you could ever be wrong. Well, if I don't know, God just magicked it. But you said, no, my experience, right? You're saying your experience in the world correlates to what's in the Bible. You can see that the world is definitely the one that's described in the Bible because there's a one-to-one, But when I point it up, but when I point out a problem, that problem is just hand waved away with magic.
No, I'm saying it's absolutely possible. And my little bit of logic that I'm using is the fact that communication does happen with animals, right?
No, not in this way. Try again. Bring me a talking donkey and then we'll talk. Until then, your Bible does not correlate to this universe. It doesn't.
Well, I just believe in a God who's able to do things that man is incapable of doing. Like it's beyond he can do. In fact, Jesus said all things are possible with God. All things.
Okay, so
all things.
That's very poetic, and I understand that can be inspiring because that was inspiring to me at one time. Mm-hmm. But the question is can something be so inspiring that you think it's true just because it's inspiring? Well, no, because that's how we get dictators. That's how we get, horrible people in power who use inspiring speech to manipulate masses. We need to have better reasons. You need to have better reasons.
Jesus, the one that I'm following, he inspires me to reach out to both you guys in love.
I don't think so, Jeffrey. I think that you want to reach out because you found something that makes you feel wonderful and you honestly, truly believe it. And there is a call to action in the Bible. It is.
It ain't me. It ain't me.
Eric, it isn't you.
Not me. No.
Well, if that's not you, then unfortunately, Jeff.
The love.
No, Jeff. See, here's the problem, man. Is I don't like talking to third parties here. If your Jesus wants to talk to me, he can call. But if you're going to talk to me, I want to talk to you.
Oh, yeah. Ambassador. We were sent forth as ambassadors of heaven to make reconciliation. You guys are estranged from God because of sin.
What a horrible presumption. How and why? Do you not understand what a just condescending presumption that is? You have no idea who I am, and you have no idea why I do things. And yet you're holding to a doctrine that tells you that you can make that condescending statement.
And call it love, no less.
Let me tell you, man, we can love each other in ways that don't involve that. Because I've seen people send their children to go be tormented and hurt in these education centers because they were gay, right? Out of love. Mm-hmm. I've seen people cast others out of their homes out of love.
So-called love.
Yeah.
So-called love.
Yeah, I've seen parents beat their children out of love.
So-called love.
No, they say it's love. Why don't you listen to them?
It's not real love, though. We know
bullshit. No, that is bullshit. Their version, what they think. I think that they honestly think it. I'm actually going to believe them and meet them where they're at. I just think that love is fucked. And I think that we should demand better.
Yes, because it's not love.
It's not the love that you define as love. Right?
We know it's not. We both know it's not love, Eric.
I agree. Do you think that somebody, just because their child made a mistake, should lock them in the basement and burn the house down?
Hell no.
Then your God is not a loving God.
That's not my God.
It is.
You don't know him.
Do you believe in hell?
Yes.
Then it is. Anyway.
Well, that's a huge. I'm saying yes.
Anyway.
But it's a huge. That's a huge discussion.
Well, it's a discussion that I think that you are on the right side of.
Well, you can
because I think that you showed that you have a better morality than your God, and I applaud you for it. Anyway.
I think the God that you're referring to is a caricature. It's a slander against the true God.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
It is.
Hold on a second.
That's out.
You agreed that hell is a thing, right? You said I said if your child did something wrong, would you lock them in the basement and burn the house down? I think that's actually much more ethical than burning them forever and not allowing them to ever perish, right? I honestly think that it's a sick.
Check this out, Eric. Hell is our heaven and hell is our affections. What do you?
No, then you're not listening.
Affection?
Yeah, then you're not. You're not.
No.
Sorry, dude.
Where is that in the Bible?
So
we've got the Bible right here. We can check. Right. That's the reference.
Like what? About hell?
Yeah, about. I mean, dude, I've been there. I was right there where I was like, you know what? My version of God does not gel with this thing that I read about in the Bible that the majority of Christians believe. So I'm going to do fucking somersaults, bend over backwards, trying to justify hell and that concept in my head because I was the moral person reading a book that was behind the times, and I was trying to make it fit into my worldview. And that's what you're doing right now. You are trying to make the Bible fit your worldview.
And the awesome thing is, Jeffrey,
I'm trying to make the Bible fit my worldview.
Yeah, you have your own worldview. You're trying to pull the Bible along with you, but you're already beyond it.
My worldview is informed by the Most High God, the creator of all things.
If that was true, I think you would have answered me differently earlier. But let's take some time and think about it and give a call back, because I think that we covered a lot.
Oh,
we did.
I love you guys still.
Yeah.
And guess what?
I think you do because you're a decent person and you honestly believe what you're saying. That's okay. Take care, brother. Yeah.
Yes.
I liked that. That was good.
I could tell you were enjoying yourself there.
Right? Let's go ahead and